Oh, we're almost out of shampoo and conditioner, so I'll pick some up on the way home from work. Same brand okay with you?
Yeah.
It's crazy how quickly we go through stuff when we're together. It seems like I'm going to the store every other day.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think we should make for dinner tonight? Is there anything you've been craving lately?
Not really.
Well, I'll just figure something out when I go to the store. You know, I think it's really fun planning dinners together with you. Call and let me know if you're gonna be late.
Will do.
Bye. See you tonight. I'm sure you can't wait.
You know, just because I hate Mitsuki doesn't mean you get to. You're supposed to be the guy in love with this woman.
You are the one that I love, Mitsuki.
Yeah. Your girlfriend got drunk and said some horrible shit. I know, okay? But she's now doing everything she can to make up for it because she's so ashamed she can't actually bring herself to talk about it. And you're just out of nowhere an indifferent asshole. I mean, you can't go from she's the one woman I love to whatever overnight. And why are you making me defend Mitsuki? Today, I feel we should begin by taking a brief glance at the comic relief occurring at the restaurant. And that's enough of that. Instead, we see Takayuki get on a bus with Mitsuki already on it, and he completely ignores her. I have no idea what the hell is going on in this show anymore. And your motivation for this episode is... apathy!
See ya.
Huh, you look like you're tired or maybe getting sick or something. Remember, it's important for our patient's state of mind that you not look depressed. But if you have a problem, you can always talk to us. I could really help you. Suck it up.
Sweetie, do you know how dirty that sounded?
That's not what I meant, I swear!
Sorry, but I have no time for your intensely highbrow lolly blowjob joke. I'm not going to get past this Takayuki crap, so I have to get it out of my system because it is a hallmark of this show's crappy writing. This is the third time now that a character has just become a completely different person between episodes. The first was when Mitsuki insisted that Takayuki and her move in together, only to decide to not do it at all and push him away in the next episode for no good reason. The second go-round with Akane was even worse because she went from telling Takayuki to come to the hospital to angrily yelling at him for being an asshole to telling him to stop coming to the hospital to pitying him and then back to being angry again. And now we have Takayuki begin one episode by doing everything he can to get back in Mitsuki's good graces while she treats him indifferently, to the complete opposite one episode later. I'm sorry, but this is not how relationships work unless one or both of the people are retarded and have bipolar. If Takayuki was harboring resentment for Mitsuki, it would show. A properly functioning human being does not have sex with a woman he has loved for 3 years only to completely blow her off one day out of nowhere. He doesn't let her move in with him if he has no intentions of giving a shit. He would say the exact same thing he did when she was drunk. Let's stop and think about this. Sure, that would have driven Mitsuki away even more, but apparently, given this episode, that's exactly what he wants! Oh, I can't handle this. It's the Yuko BS all over again. You can't just drop character motivations between episodes and make shit up all over again. I need things to gradually happen over a period of time. You can't just cut from A to Z because it makes your job easier. Just so you know I'm not making this up, I'll lay it out very clearly for you. Takayuki was at the hospital late one night. Something shitty happened to Mitsuki, so without attempting to contact Takayuki in any way, she just showed up at his apartment, apparently waiting for him to come back. When he didn't, she left. This plot point alone is stupid because she knew exactly where he was, and she could have called the hospital and told him that she really needed him. You don't get to play this childish bullshit game of blaming Takayuki for not having psychic powers. The next morning, Takayuki called and apologized to her before asking her for a date that night. Mitsuki turned him down to instead go get drunk with her coworkers. Then, Takayuki said to himself, quote, "Mitsuki is the one I love." Since he wasn't doing anything with her, Takayuki went to the hospital where he was clearly uncomfortable with what he was doing for Haruka because he was in love with Mitsuki, and when she kissed him, he was clearly unwilling. However, that scene somehow led to him implying that he did love Haruka. On a scale of 1 to even, I can't. Takayuki then came home to find Mitsuki drunk, demanding that they find a place together right then and there. I would like to remind you that she has switched her position on this issue 3 times at this point. Takayuki told her that they should wait on it, and she responded by flipping out and telling him that she gets drunk because she doesn't have him, a statement that is mind-bogglingly stupid when you remember that in that same episode, she turned down a date with him to go get drunk. So yes, she got drunk because she didn't have him, by her own choice. At no point during this process did Takayuki show any signs of hating Mitsuki or even disliking her. In fact, he tried to stop her from leaving and looked hurt and horrified by what she said. Then, at the end of the episode, Mitsuki showed up the next night and happily declared that she was moving in. Now, between episodes and overnight, Takayuki has completely stopped caring about her for no reason. And I say no reason because you can assume anything and everything you want and explain it away on the margins to justify your disagreement, but this show does nothing to justify his new attitude. That's just the way it is now. Deal with it. Where is Takayuki's inner monologue to give us any insight for any of this?
It's Takayuki.
Takayuki takes the time to visit me every day, even though he's busy studying.
Yeah?
He's such a sweetheart, Mitsuki. His funny stories from work always make me laugh. You know, I think I've come to realize something. I'm in love with him.
Well, when it's the only thing you know, what else can you do? Never mind, he's done. An inner monologue wouldn't fix anything. And yeah, I guess I'll do the Phalus joke since everybody keeps leaving it as a comment. He's completely useless now.
Takayuki, I don't want you to visit her anymore. You spend more time with her than you do with me. All we ever do is sleep together. I thought it was over between you two.
Over? What does that even mean?
All over. Definition. Finished. Done. Ended in every part. How is this confusing for you?
I thought it was over between you two.
But she has 10 fingers.
Oh, okay. That explains it.
You know, if I'm not mistaken, Haruka's your friend too.
She's not my friend anymore as far as I'm concerned. I betrayed her.
I took Hiro away from her, so I have no right to confess my feelings to him.
Right. Sure. I follow.
Be honest. Do you pity Haruka? Or do you love her?
You know, man, people say the dub can be bad, but I just feel like they messed up this whole scene horribly. Here, let me fix it real quick.
Takayuki, I don't want you to visit her anymore.
Maybe.
I thought it was over between you two.
Maybe.
She's not my friend anymore as far as I'm concerned. I betrayed her.
Maybe.
Be honest. Do you pity Haruka? Or do you love her?
Maybe.
Yes, I know. I should be happy that Mitsuki's miserable like she deserves, and Takayuki got bitch slapped for being such a douche, but this scene is just so bad. I don't want it to happen like this. I don't know if I'll convince you all on this one, but that's too bad because this is how I see it. Mitsuki tells Takayuki to stop seeing Haruka, which does make sense, but then is apparently unfazed by Takayuki saying he has no idea what the word over means. How does that slip by?
I thought it was over between you two.
Well, we still fuck on Tuesdays and every other Thursday, but that's like an obligation. I'm not actually in love with her. But we only have every other Friday. Oops, busted. Mitsuki makes a valid point about Takayuki spending more time with Haruka than he does with her, but then again, she has also been spurning him, so that takes the piss out of that statement. But then she makes the bewildering claim that she doesn't consider Haruka a friend anymore because she betrayed her. Fucking what? How does that make sense? Did you intentionally fuck her over? Haha, pun. Anyway, I don't think that's up for you to decide unless you resented her and hated her for having Takayuki when you couldn't. Which makes even less sense because she set Takayuki up with Haruka in the first place and demanded that he commit to her. I swear, they must have fired the writing staff after every single episode and then told each and every new crew absolutely nothing that had happened before in the series. The staggering amount of contradiction and discontinuity is breaking the narrative in half and slowly but surely turning every single character into a piece of garbage. You can say this is realistic all you want, but even if that's the case, the only difference it makes is that instead of watching a show about shitty people being shitty to each other in a shitty situation, we're watching a realistic show about shitty people being shitty to each other in a shitty situation. Hope that adjective's worth it for you. You want to know what it does for me?
Nothing! Absolutely nothing!
Still, my favorite part of this scene is that after Mitsuki slaps Takayuki, he leaves the apartment, gets in the elevator, and straight up leaves. Where does he go? Who fucking knows? That's where the scene ends. Well, Takayuki must have returned home at some point because we cut to him at the restaurant the next day and no one says a word about bench stink. We discover that his new strategy for not seeing Haruka or Mitsuki is to spend every single waking hour at work. Seems legit.
Years ago, I had a daughter of my own. By now, she'd be their age. I miss her every day that goes by. Thinking back, I wish I would have spent more time with her. Sad to think the view outside her hospital window was all she had those last few months.
Oh, come on! Well, thank you, dramatically convenient manager, for sharing with us your coincidentally plot-relevant backstory about your MacGuffin daughter's contrived illness unprompted that miraculously mirrors Haruka's situation exactly at the most serendipitous moment possible for Takayuki's episode-specific conflict. Man, it's a great thing that this could happen in real life. Otherwise, I'd be completely taken out of the show. Hyper-realistic! Takayuki, now the elected master of shitlords, leaves Mitsuki waiting at home for him until after 11 p.m. so that he can sit on a park bench at a children's playground like a massive creeper. He then confirms that this is all part of a grand asshole scheme because this abject hatred for the protagonist is definitely not something you'd want to leave up to interpretation.
Since I'm not going to the hospital anymore, I figured I'd grab some more shifts. That is what you wanted, right?
And here we are again. Yet another point in the show where the story would just up and end if this was at all like real life. Let's pretend this situation is exactly the same and then roleplay as Mitsuki and Takayuki. Shut up, it's not weird. Mitsuki, who is not married to Takayuki, suspects that he might be cheating on her with his ex-girlfriend. She confronts him about it, and he doesn't deny it. In any real-life situation, this is where she would fucking leave. She wouldn't try to make everything better by cooking dinner for him. She would be gone. But let's pretend that she still does love Takayuki and go with the fact that she keeps coming home and trying to cook food for him because she's just, I don't know, snapped or cracked or just plain insane. At this moment, when he openly and maliciously tells her to her face that he is intentionally going to work so that he isn't around her, she would be gone. No one is sticking around after bullshit like this, especially not when they've already been unhappy for some time. And it is beyond infuriating to see a female character portrayed as someone who literally sees herself as having nothing in life without Takayuki. I mean, that's the only real explanation, isn't it? This isn't an abusive relationship, and Takayuki has never done anything to manipulate her. So why is she still around? Where are all these fans that claim this show is so realistic? I mean, what show were you watching? Were you busy counting your fingers the entire time? To end the misery for today, Takayuki goes to the hospital and flat out cheats on Mitsuki by kissing Haruka and then attempting to bang her. However, the superficial cunt sees a scar on her chest and can't bring himself to fuck a girl with skin blemishes, so he settles for tasting her tonsils while Akane cries in the rain and gives us the fantastic line, "I can't do this anymore." Well, it's refreshing to see someone with an ounce of moral fiber left in their being, because no one else does. I would love an explanation for what aspects of this story I'm supposed to be enjoying. And I don't just mean a list or parroting "it's realistic." I mean an explanation for why. What creative choices am I supposed to be admiring, and why? What characters am I supposed to invest in, and why? Why should I like this series? And you know what? If you want to answer that question, you'll have plenty of time because we're done for today. Man, I need the break. I'm Will Ryan. This has been 25 the Hard Way, and I'll see you next time. Fuck. Hey guys, Will Ryan here. If you're new to our channel, go ahead and click that little icon right there in the middle of the screen to subscribe. And if you want to check out more in-depth dissection like what you just saw, go ahead and click on one of the 3 previous seasons of 25 the Hard Way. Enjoy yourselves and stay skeptical.